Live, live, live. What is it? Wednesday night live. What's up, Chad? What's up, homeboy?
What is up is my blood pressure, so I got to get that under control. Getting inspired by you. I got on the scale yesterday, and you know that Home Alone face like that? That was pretty much my response. So I'm just going to make 23 a wash, and we're going to lean into it. No New Year's resolution crap, just a new life resolution. Just lean into it. I ain't going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it. But
I mean,
man,
we can admit that I lost more. Army won versus Navy again, 2 years in a row.
Maybe.
It's just what it was. We saw the Army Navy game, and then I whipped your ass again. But we're gonna lean into 2024, working to get each other better, not competing together. We're gonna work together to get ourselves fit so we can go play in the creeks, chase some fish, and just do all the big, wonderful, fun stuff that
Yeah, and man, live longer and be around longer. Well, hey, listen, before we jump into this thing, my son has got me kind of eat up with this new swim bait fishing stuff. And as you can see behind me, I'm a big fan of toys, lures, tinkerers. We all are. But I got a new YouTube video, and like a dummy, I was testing a new thumbnail, and I was testing a new title strategy. Well, it didn't work. So right out of the gate, the video didn't get very many views. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to give away two of my favorite swim baits so far. This KGB Chad from Spro, and this new Hangover from Ben Milliken. I just, by the way, dropped that thing in my foot and it hooked me. So give me a second here.
I was gonna say, is that the one I gave you?
we're going to give away a KGB. No, because I got the order of these. So, still got a couple in the pack. This one's going to be yours. This one's mine. Okay. So KGB Chad. So what you're going to need to do to be eligible to win one of each of these is go to my last YouTube video, the one that's got the 2 bass, 1 bed. It's kind of a throwback video to one of the crazy days I had where I caught 2 giant bass off of 1 bed and the whole process of talking through it. So for you folks that are like locked in and you're not fishing and you're sitting on the couch, you can dream of those spring days to come and the spawn and all that other stuff. So what you got to do to win is you've got to comment simply 6 cents Hangover or Spro KGB Chad. You can only comment one of them. Well, per comment. You can comment both if you want to increase your chances to win. No hashtags, nothing crazy. Just go to my last YouTube video. In fact, you can do that while we're live, and light that video up. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to pick a winner. And if you're a KBF member and I pick you, I'm going to double it. I'm going to give you 2 of whichever one I pick the winner for. So I've got them here. This is not one of those things where I got to wait on sponsors. I got the jokers in my hand, ready to go. So 6 cents Hangover or Spro KGB Chad. And if you don't know how to write it, go look it up on the website so you can write it right. Because if you write it wrong, you're not going to get picked. Don't just put Chad because I'm picking it by the name. It's helping me with the SEO. It's making the comments have topics that are hot. We're going to start playing that game a lot more. We're going to start doing some crazy giveaways, some of which we're going to talk about tonight, some of which we're just going to kick off right out the gate. We did this crazy thing this year. I say crazy. We did this thing called the Torquedo Top 10. And what's crazy about it is you go over here and you start clicking on the fish and you're like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. And the more you click on this thing, the more giant fish that you see. But the deal was there was going to be the person that won this with the biggest 10 fish is going to win a Torquedo 1103 motor. So Derek Miller, congratulations. You are taking home a Torquedo 1103 AC motor, 244.75 inches. Actually, I think that's over 24. Obviously, 244.75 divided by 10. Let's see exact 24.475 average. That's insanity. And now Dalton Albright was right there with him. In fact, when the event ended, before challenges and all that other stuff, Dalton was sitting in the lead. But so I want to actually do a little special recognition from Dalton. In fact, I almost was going to give the motor to first and second place because I had 2 motors. I called that dude right there, and he was like, no, bro, the rules say you got to one from first place and then one randomly drawn from everybody else. So because of that, but because of the fact that I respect the hell out of what Dalton did, both on the water and off the water, I'm going to give Dalton a KBF lifetime membership. I'm also going to give him $500 in entries for the 24 season. So Dalton, all you got to do is shoot me a text, bro. I'll get you taken care of with the lifetime membership, and I'll get you taken care of up to $500 in KBF entries. They got to be used in 2024. That being said, that kid's a hammer. Let me tell you the story of why I say on and off the water. At one point in this year, he was catching so many big fish that he had all eyes on him. So somebody found on social media that he had posted these pictures and videos where he wasn't wearing his PFD, and he showed off the fish that if you go look at the dates and all that, they were fish that were entered in the KBF State Challenge Series. So filed a challenge. I assign an investigative panel. I do what we do. Ultimately, I call the kid up. Hey, here's the situation. You have to wear your PFD in KBF tournaments. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry. I just thought it had to be in the boat. I thought it was like whatever the state law was. Okay, no harm, no foul. Here's the situation. That's a safety thing, so that's a DQ from the event, so I got to DQ you. So I DQ'd him from a couple of events, cost him money, cost him points, all that whole thing. Kid was super professional. Kid was amazing. I called him today, or yesterday and today. Hey, there's been some challenges of your fish. If you've got better photos, I can take an upgrade. You can't enter a new fish. Derek just passed you with a couple of fish that got challenged that didn't have the identifier, blah, 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 but I'm going to give you the opportunity to dispute any of your fish. Real professional. He sent me one fish that he thought was close. I showed him why it wasn't quite to the mark. Actually, let me show you this. This is how close this thing was. If he had gotten this fish, he would have won the event. So this is the tail of the fish. And that little white line right there is the continuation of the line from the top of the board to the bottom of the board. And his tail comes up just short of it. So that's how close it was. Or they would have been tied, or he would have been a quarter inch ahead. So my hat's off to Derek and Dalton and all the folks that put up massive numbers. Definitely put up a hell of a lot bigger numbers than I did. My goal this year is to try to do that, to have a really impressive top 10. I'm going to commit to that this year. I'm going to Florida. I'm coming back to Alabama at the peak time. I'm going to hit some big bass factories. But Dalton, you're a stand-up dude. You're a class act. I wish we had the ability to clone you times 1,000. So KBF lifetime membership, $500 in KBF entries. Derek Miller, congratulations on winning the Torpedo. And then, drum roll, we picked the second Torpedo randomized from everybody that entered their 10 fish in the top 10. And the winner of that is, sorry, I got to go back to that photo.
You guys don't believe this.
The winner of the Torpedo 1103 is Jason Ball from Alabama. So Jason Ball from Alabama in 22nd place, ironically enough, with 221 inches, which is crazy. Again, there's been so many signs,
dude,
that I know. Like Tesla song this year. Signs, everywhere there's signs. It's just been crazy. So Jason Ball, congratulations. You win the second Torpedo 1103. JT, we got one more lifetime membership to give away for everybody that competed in the Catch22 challenge, but we're gonna draw that at the end of the show, right?
I'm gonna work on getting that list together and into the randomizer. Real quick, I always hate it when you get when you go off script or just. I think we need to do one more thing. And as much as I say we got to stick to what we do, I think we need to talk about the big fish of this event and show off who it is, and then maybe do. We got to give them something, right? That thing was I can't remember. I think
the last time you talked about a big fish, and I said something, you got us both in trouble. So let's clarify up front. This is not a fish either one of us caught. We weren't trying to represent that last time, and I've still gone back and watched it and can't figure out how the hell people thought that, because I said I didn't get a picture of mine. I didn't get this. I only got video. But to clarify, disclaimer for all of the haters and the looker for things to bitch about people. This is not a fish either one of us caught, nor are we representing it. Let's talk about who caught it, because that's what we really should have done, is made a bigger deal out of who caught that other fish. So that's on us. But let's talk about who caught this big fish. And then
I'm gonna find it real quick.
give them some love.
Yeah, because we definitely. If I can find the right spot on the page.
All right. So while you're looking for that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into kind of an overview of some stuff that's coming. As you guys know, that we use Fishing Chaos for our tournament management system, but we also use it for our membership management. And during the off season, for a lot of people, and during the transition between the last event of the year and now and before we kick off, I've had my head down working on improving the opportunities for the community, improving the series linearity, meaning there's something for everybody, whether you're a enthusiast, a paddler only, you don't like motors, you don't like pedals, all the way up to the most elite stuff we can do with the Trail Series, the 10, and the Challenge Series, the 10, which I'll talk about again. But there's 3 kind of new things that we're doing. We're launching the 5x5 series. And if you go to the website, the 5x5, or if you go to the Fishing Chaos section of all the KBF tournaments, you'll see the new 5x5 series. March and April are up, but I don't have the bank connected yet because I got to get all the details in there before you guys can start signing up. The way that we're going to do those first 2 5x5s is I'm going to do $1,000 in gift cards to one of our new partners, which we'll talk about at the end of the show. And the entry fee is going to be relatively low. And then we're going to gauge how that 5x5 works. The 5x5 format, though, is 5 fish in 5 5-day windows spread out across the month. You pick the window that you want to fish in, and you get 1 rebuy opportunity. However, if you rebuy, you zero. So if in phase 2, you catch 91 inches, but you don't think that's going to hold to the end, and then in phase 3, you rebuy, first of all, it's more expensive to rebuy. And then when you rebuy, you zero. So if you catch 0 inches or 26 inches in the second month and you had 94 the month before, your total is 24 inches. So we're going to allow 1 rebuy, and that's going to help us build the pot. The idea behind this is we start with the nationwide 5x5, and then we evolve into the 5x5 is how we're going to do the smallmouth championship this year. It's going to be 5 fish in 5 5-day windows across the top 5 smallmouth fisheries in the country. Details are coming really soon on that, and we're going to do it in May during Mayhem. The other reason we're doing it in 5 5-day windows is because May is one of the best months to fish nationwide, but it's also one of the hardest ones to do a tournament because you got Mother's Day and you got Memorial Day. So then it only leaves you 2 weekends, and then everybody schedules all their events on those 2 weekends. So if I say you can pick the window you want to go fish on one of these 5 fisheries, then we're going to do the smallmouth championship under this 5x5 format. Now, in 24, we're not going to do it this way, but in 25, we're going to do the same thing for the State Challenge Series championships. There will be 5 regions with 5 5x5 championships. So we're going to really lean into the 5x5 in 25. We're going to start dialing the model in 24, like we've been doing with the Smallmouth and River Series. I also want to announce that the River Series won't be a 5x5. The River Series is actually going to be a destination, one location event. We're going to do the River Series Championship in Richmond, Virginia, on the James River, one of the best river fisheries in the country. I mean, I just kind of smiled thinking about it because I spent a lot of time there. I cut my teeth on kayak fishing there. So, details coming very soon on that. James River, Richmond, Virginia, River Championship, date, details, and all that to come. Now, in the process of going to these trade shows and talking to destinations, everybody said, man, you really should do the smallmouth championship on the Susquehanna. It's the most famous smallmouth river in the country. I'm like, but it's a river. So I had spoken to Susquehanna about a river series and a smallmouth series. Well, by the time they got back to me, I had already locked in how I'm going to do the smallmouth series because I don't want the smallmouth championship to be on a river, and I want it to have some nationwide distribution. And then I'd already locked in the river series with Richmond. So in 24, we're going to do a river smallmouth series on Susquehanna that's going to be 5x5x5. 5 months of 5-day windows, 5 times in a month, and then a championship at the end. So it's 5 months long series on the Susquehanna. And I'm just stoked about getting to see all of these slobber knocker smallmouth that are going to get put up during this event. While you're fishing there, all your fish count for the river series and the smallmouth series, and then they're going to count for the Susquehanna River smallmouth series. Okay. That event is going to be designated for that river. And then the 5x5 is how we're going to do the championship. If you're getting confused or lost, don't worry about it. We're going to make really small infographics with all of this. We're going to create an org chart on the website that explains it all. There's a lot going on. And then we're also going to launch that paddle only series that I talked about. I'm going to start adding leaderboards in the next day or two to all of the trail series events. But I got a question, and I want you guys to think about it because I'm going to post it in the group and get you to weigh in on it. I'm thinking about making the paddle only series for the trails where you can sign up as a paddle only competitor for rookies only. So I need your opinion on that. Should it be for anybody that wants to fish in the paddle only series, even if you've been fishing the trail series for 8-10 years, or should the idea behind it be getting new people in the sport? So think about that, and I'll post a question up in the group to get your feedback so I can have it all containerized in one spot. But start thinking about that, because that question is one that I've got to decide on here relatively quickly. We are doing a paddle only series at the trail events regardless. That's happening. Low entry fee, no big guarantees, anything other than you got an opportunity to come see how you stack up against some of the best anglers in the country on the same lake during the same time. Hey girl, in the same conditions with only without a motor or a pedal. So when I say paddle only, it's paddle only. No pedal drives. No pedal drive kayaks. You're not taking the pedal drive out and paddling it. It's a paddle only series. So for the folks that have been asking for it, we're answering. Okay. If you want to complain about the pedal drive thing, don't, because I'm not getting into it. I'm not arguing about it. If you think there should be a pedal drive only series somewhere, go start it. I'll support it. I might even get one and come fish it. I'll share it to the group. Hey, check out this pedal only series. Not my cup of tea, not what I'm doing. And if you're going to go paddle only, if you want to play the whole real kayak thing, it's not a pedal drive or a motor. It's a paddle kayak. And honestly, I think I'm going to fish that series at the trail stops because it'll be fun. I'm loving getting back to the basics. I caught 5 of my biggest fish last year with no depth finder and no motor. So that being said, I'm pretty pumped about that. I do want to throw the gauntlet down and challenge you guys to help me grow the membership. The membership is the lifeblood of this business, and it's how we do it. I got beat up pretty hard last year for payouts, rightfully so, but we're leaning into growing this thing into what it always should have been, and that is a community-centric organization. One of the things that I haven't done a good job of is offering membership opportunities that aren't super competitive, don't have a high payout, but at the same time promote our sponsors and give you a great opportunity to win prizes. So I'm going to do several members only 3 fish, free fish this year. Free fish, 3 fish. So it's going to be free to fish for all KBF members. It's going to be 3 fish instead of 5. And we're going to give away a couple $1,000s worth of prizes. You know what I'm saying? Motors, batteries, depth finders, lure packages, gift certificates, things like that. So stay tuned for the details on that. But I will be launching a free fish series for members that doesn't require an entry fee, and it doesn't have to be super competitive. It's only 3 fish instead of 5, and it's not going to be judged so that I don't have any expense in the front side of it. It's going to be the 3 fish free fish challenge, meaning the only way the fish gets scored is if one of you knuckleheads challenge it. And the idea behind that too is it helps members learn the rules by going in and looking at photos and challenging the ones. And then the anglers that submit those fish are going to get feedback from the community based on the challenges. You are challenged for tail hand placement wrong, open mouth, covering the operculum, whatever. You're going to learn the rules through the feedback from the community. And I'm going to give away prizes for the people that enter successful challenges. So it's the challenge series, free fish, 3 fish. Okay. So that being said, I think we need to jump back into whatever the hell we were talking about before that, JT. What were you talking about? What were we talking about? I think I covered kind of the basics, right? Am I right?
Let me unmute myself first and then get back to the double screen here. Let's see. Somebody said that they feel like rookies would be cool and bring people to the sport. That's what the paddle thing is going to be about. Let's take a minute to gaze at the gorgeousness of
yeah.
this.
So, oh yeah, that's what you're talking about. Look at this thing.
And this is the 26.5-inch fish that was in the Torpedo top 10. And Ryan from RJM Fishtails actually pointed out that there is a 26 3/4 fish in the Catch22, and he dropped that person's name in the comments, and that was where'd it go? It was somebody with another monster fish, but I wasn't going to go through all the state looking for the.
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that Sherman put his name on his 10 tag, so that way, it's right there. You got it.
Made it nice and easy for us, but
nobody can misrepresent your fish. Nobody can act like it's there. None of that other stuff, and it can't be confused.
100% laid out Sherman, on the beautiful America catch board that you notice is longer than most of what it was up north need to.
Yeah, I mean, if he was using my catch board, that fish tail would be hanging off the end. You know what I mean? That's insanity. That is a absolute donkey,
giant.
Like,
so. And Ryan is saying David Joyner from Florida had the biggest fish in Catch22 last season, which was 26 3/4. Still an amazing feat. I mean, it's just crazy.
So here's what we'll do. I'm going to get with Hank, and we're going to put a blog post together that we highlight the the monster catches of KBF. We're going to do some research and see
largemouth and smallies, because I mean,
all the trophies. Yeah. But we'll start with this largemouth thing, and we'll do the top 5, and we'll find the top 5 smallmouth, which obviously the smallmouth series, Troy Wine's 24 1/4 inch, absolute giant. That thing is bigger than the biggest smallmouth most people have caught, and it's unreal.
So for Stinky River Tom wants to know if he can use his float tube and paddle, can he participate? There are areas in Catch22 for any water.
No, I think he's talking about the paddle only series during the trail. Hey, bro.
Could be.
Listen, Stinky River Tom, I honestly think that you're going to live up to your name if you try to fish in a float tube on Santee Cooper, because the first time you see one of them giant lizards slide off the bank, you're going to shit your pants, and you're going to really be Stinky River Tom. So, yes, you can, but I personally wouldn't advise it in 2 out of the 4 events that we're doing, because there's some big old toothy critters that you might not want to have half your body in the water for. But yeah, per the rules, you can technically use it.
Okay, excellent. So I'm getting lots of nice shout outs for everybody jumping in the Catch22 challenge already for 2024. That is excellent. And Chad, there is no way that I'm going to be able to get all these names into this wheel before we get done yapping, because.
Okay, then I got it. I did a randomizer number. I'll take the same thing you did, and I'll go pick the number below 40. So I'll do that right now.
Yeah, because then
that'll basically be the same thing. All right, guys. So listen, you can see how organized we are here, shaking it up, winging it sometimes. But listen, if you start to look at the way the series are taking shape, we got free events. We got little entry-level events. I ain't even going to mention this yet. We're going to do the knucklehead a little different this year. We're going to wait until May. Everything's going to kick off in May, and we're going to do the knucklehead championship the week before the Trail Series and Challenge Series championship. So if you're interested in kind of that upward mobility, you can fish the knucklehead series, and you can be fishing in a knucklehead series championship the weekend before, when you're getting there to pre-fish for the championships, which the captain's meeting's on Wednesday, the event's on Thursday and Friday. So realistically, you're going to pretty much be there anyway. And so that way people don't have to travel. And I think what we're going to do is move the knucklehead championship to Sunday, because a lot of people said, man, it really would have been nice if I could have traveled on Friday, got a little bit of pre-fishing on Saturday, and then I had the knucklehead championship on Sunday. So I think we're going to move the knucklehead championship to Sunday, have a kind of a fun fish thing on Saturday, and then we're going to roll through Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday's the captain's meeting for the Trail Series Challenge Series Championship that then ultimately leads to the 10. So, if you're on the winning team, plus you do well in the Trail Series Challenge Series Championship, work your way into the 2 10s, you got an opportunity to make that a very lucrative week. Very lucrative week. So while you are talking about do me a favor and talk about the Catch22 2024 a little bit. It's up. We're already over 100 people.
Oh, wow.
We didn't get to 100 people until March last year, right? We're at 100 people, and we're not even at the end of the first week in January because this thing is snowballing. I'm writing a check to Heroes on the Water next week for $5,000. That's going to do a lot to change lives. Every year that we do this thing, less money is going to have to go to the operational part. More money is going to go to prizes. And as these sponsors get better return on investment, they're giving me prizes and I'm buying them. So we should be able to double or quadruple what we're putting into entry fees and prizes and giveaways. The grand prize for 2024, drum roll, is going to be the same thing that we had for 24 or 23, but it'll be a bona fide power 129 with a bow and stern mount motor, double graph setup, power pole. You see what I'm saying? So we're already another $10,000 plus package, another $10,000 plus rig for 2024. But this year, what I'm going to do is instead of randomly giving the kayaks away the way that I did, I'm going to give away kayaks per quarter. So we're going to call it the Kayak Quarterly. Every quarter, we're going to recognize the winners, the best from each state. We're going to create a press release. We're going to create a call out on social media. I'm working with Duke to develop a coin style trophy for each of the state winners that is just like this dude right here. It's like the state challenge coins that we do, and it's like the 10. It comes with a little 10. So we're working on dialing that in right now. We're going to be giving away a trophy for the biggest fish caught in the Catch22 last year, 23, and we're going to use that to say that we're also giving away this badass, top of the line trophy for the big fish for 2024. Bending Branches is coming on board to help us out with some paddles for the whole paddle only stuff. Yeah, dude, there's a couple things I can't talk about yet that I really wish I could. But let me do this pick real quick. Just do your JT spin on the Catch22 while I pick this winner real quick. And then let's try to get the Catch22 by the end of the month, damn near where it was at the end of last year, because there's still time with these sponsors who make most of their decisions between October and December to get some last minute commitments, because I say, hey, look, this thing is already trending better than the past 2 years. You guys want to get on board? And then we can start doing monthly prize packages better than we've ever done. We're going to commit to the monthly prize packages this year, the quarterly kayak giveaways. The Catch22 challenge is going to be fun. Like, it's going to be real fun.
Yeah, because we got to talk about Catch 5 a little bit as well. So
yes,
make sure we
yes.
So talking a little bit about Catch22, what Catch22 is basically is we have categories for basically any style of angler that you are. So there is let me share my screen real fast and show you. And then we're also going to do some shout outs. That's the wrong one. Let me do the right one because I was on last year's. And boom, here we go. And scroll. So Catch22 Challenge in 2024. The categories that we have are any 22 nationwide. And these are any species. You don't have to have anything special. You can take a selfie. You can be in a kayak, a boat, a float tube. If you like playing on a surfboard, however you want to catch fish. This is literally how we generate income to donate to Heroes on the Water. So what we do in each of these different areas, you make a $22 donation here on Fishing Chaos, and you pick however many of the different categories you want to play in. If you're somebody who just likes to go catch fish, whether it be walleye, pike, bluegill, crappie, whatever, you just want to be participating and helping out for our donations for Heroes on the Water, you sign up for this category. You can fish anywhere in the U.S. You can take a selfie of your fish, and you upload it by count. Your goal is to catch and upload 22 fish. If you have a boat or you have, your farm pond, a John boat, however, the just for fun, any watercraft is a category for you. So, for example, we have First Sergeant Ralph, Mr. Army Outdoors. He doesn't do the kayak thing yet. He lives out in California where he's stationed. He's got his boat, and he wants to participate, obviously, because he's a first sergeant in the United States Army. He wants to participate and help our fellow veterans at Heroes on the Water. He can sign up. He can fish on base. He can fish out of his boat. He just takes the pictures, lays them on a catch board, and uploads them with an identifier. So any water, anywhere, any way you want to do it, you can participate there. Now, for those of us who like to bank or kayak fish, you're going to follow the KBF rules. You sign up for whatever state you want to play in, and you have to properly learn to catch, photo, and release your fish using you can either fish from the bank or from a kayak or one of the approved vessels, right? And you upload fish for whatever state you're in. Now, since a lot of us like to travel out of our respective states, you can sign up for multiple states. It's another $22 donation. For example, last year I fished down in Alabama with Chad. I signed up to fish in Illinois because it's next door to me. This year I'm going to add Ohio because I got some friends I want to go over there and fish with. And generally I fish in Indiana. So I'm going to be making $22 donations in each one of those states, and I will learn to properly upload my fish so that they get judged at the end. And then, like Chad said, whoever's the state leader can win those coins at the end of the year. So it can be a little competition too, but this is our way of getting your feet wet in how KBF competitions work. So later on, you can fish in the Kayak Bass Fishing Knucklehead Series, your State Challenge Series, and even some of the trails or other professional events around the country. So it's Catch22 is literally our fundraising way of teaching people how to somewhat fish competitively. So that's kind of Catch22 in a nutshell. But for a lot of us, it's about getting out and fishing with our buddies. You know, me and the rest of Freedom Squad, Jeremy and OEF5. It's our little competition. You know, we've had other folks, you know, they get together and compete against each other by uploading catching fish in their state as well. So it's one of those things. Now, if you live in a state full of hammers, like, you know, Florida and Texas and all that, well, you're competing out there with your fellow big fish anglers, while those of us up here in the Midwest are, you know, trying to chase those 18, 19, and occasionally 20-inch bass. You know what I'm saying? But Derek Dotson wants to know, does the 22 cover the whole year, or is it a monthly donation? No, it covers the whole year for whatever state you're fishing in, or if you just want to do the fish, you know, the fish things. That could change down the road if we want to do more, but for now, we're leaving it at $22 donation, and it goes across the whole season. So it's open now, and it'll close December. Well, are you going to run it to December 22nd, or are you going to run it to the end of the year again?
The 21st. So then we 21st. Do the drawing. Winners,
so we can do the drawing on the 22nd of December next year. There we go.
Yep. So it'll end the 21st at midnight.
There we go. So you've got from now until December 21st at midnight to catch all them big fish. You don't, David Doyles, you don't have to cull the fish. When you upload the next bigger fish, it will automatic cull for you. But do us a favor. Every year we try to beat the number of fish we caught the year before. So even if you're catching dinks when you've already got, say, your 15s and 16s, if you catch a 16 later, keep uploading those fish all year long. It will only cull when you add the next biggest fish. But we probably across the nation could have had another couple of thousand of fish uploaded, and we didn't, because a lot of people, it's like once they get to a certain limit, they don't, upload their smaller fish. But the reason why we do this is we like being able to go to sponsors and say, look at all these fish being caught all around the country by all these people everywhere you're at. It helps Chad go to sponsors and say, hey, this is, the number of people we got doing this. This way they can donate prizes to those that are competing. Tim Williams says, this is great. Which veterans groups benefit from this? So the first year we did this, we supported Mission 22. And then last year and then this year, we're supporting Heroes on the Water, which if you get to know me and Chad, or my brother Jeremy, our friend Matt, some other disabled veterans, you will understand very, very quickly how Heroes on the Water touches so many people and why this is so personal and close to us. So Heroes on the Water is the benefactor this year because it's truly, truly a mission that we completely believe in, bar none.
Now, JT, this is a good segue into a question that somebody else asked in the comment section, and that now is a perfect time to segue into it. If you're going to the FishOPS series, you're going to see the Catch22, and then next to it, you're going to see the Catch 5. Yep. If you fished in the past, you've seen those Catch 5s where I experimented with certain things, under 18, the Dink Slayer, all these other things, right? Lots of people are messaging me, dude, I'm fiending because the challenge series isn't going. I'm like, well, fish the Catch22. I know, but I want something competitive. So what we did is we put together the Catch 5 series. And what we're going to do with the Catch 5 is this is our opportunity to further benefit Heroes on the Water, but at the same time, we can also run Catch 5s that benefit specific other veterans, Homeland Hero-based organizations. And so for the Catch 5 for January, it's $20 to enter, okay? And then it's nationwide for now. But here's how it works. I got a commitment today that I'm going to put my money in where my mouth is, and this is not something that's being donated, so it's a purchase. We're going to put in $1,000 worth of gift cards for the top 3 positions, 500, 300, 200 in that first January Catch 5. And then we're going to put in 5 random $100 gift cards from everybody that catches 5 fish. So I'll update the description either later tonight or in the morning. But the people that are asking me how the Catch 5 works is the registration is open all through the month. It is for charity. It's not uber competitive, but the top 5 fish, top 3 places are going to be $500, $300, and $200 gift certificate to our newest KBF partner that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Yeah. And then we're going to do 5 $100 deals. So you get 5 times your money back if you're drawn. And my goal with the 5 by or the Catch 5 is to be able to do 50% donated to the charity. So I'm not doing the 25-50-25 formula like I'm doing with the Catch-22 because I'm trying to do a monthly thing. But until I cover the amount of money that I'm spending on the prizes up front, or until I start getting prizes donated, then I have to cover that first. And so the idea is that whatever's left over, then we're going to donate 50% of that to Heroes on the Water. So it's not 25-50-25, but it's 50% of what's left over. And then I'm going to use that other 50% as the seed for the next one. So the goal is to turn this Catch 5 series into something that if you don't like the state challenge series, if you don't like Knucklehead, if you don't like your local club, or if you want to do something else while you're doing those other things where you can stack the cash and stack the prizes and stack the opportunities, then it's $20 for a chance at $1,500 in prizes. So again, $500, $300, and $200, and then 5 $100 random gift cards from American Legacy Fishing and American Legacy Fishing and Outdoors. And so I want to use that as a segue into what I'm going to talk about right now. For Q1, January, February, March, I am going to personally put up, this is not coming out of the business, this is coming out of me. I am personally going to put up a Bonafide Power 129. And a lot of people are about to get butthurt, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm going to draw a winner for the Power 129 from all new KBF members from now until the end of Q1. So everybody that joins KBF from now to the end of Q1, I'm going to draw for one of the most premium fishing kayaks on the market. So that's where we're at. Kyle, Chris Overgis, yes, we are putting a prize package together for all the state winners of the Catch-22 for 23. Give me about a week and a half on that. I'm still working on it. It's basically going to be a credit to fish in future KBF events is how I'm working that. And I'm trying to figure out some type of badass recognition. It might not be a trophy this year. It might be a decal, but yes, there is something coming, both recognition and a prize package. So stay tuned for that.
And then next year, you're going to look at the medallion.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you guys got to remember, this is only the 3rd year that we've done this. So, you know, it's one of those things where the bigger it gets, the more we can do, the more support, you know. So it's you guys are growing this in both donations to Heroes on the Water and the prize packs that he can go out and grab with the sponsors. And like he said, working with, we got some new people coming on board this year. It's just going to keep getting better and better the more everybody participates, because that's more ammo for him to go out and fight for y'all for. So it's really awesome.
So let me use that as the segue to talk about one of our newest partners, the campaign for KBF membership, and give you the ammo when people go, what the hell do I get out of joining KBF? Well, for one, we're doubling down and reinvesting in the sport. We're breaking eggs and making omelets because we were the one that broke the eggs and made the omelets in the beginning. And now it's time to break some more eggs and make some new omelets. And, you know, for a long time, I kind of got over it. I was overwhelmed. I am reinvigorated like I've never been before. The Catch 5, the 5x5, the River Championship, our River Series, the Smallmouth Series. That's the kind of stuff that gets me jacked up, because we're thinking of new ways to do things. We're diversifying. We're appealing to different segments of our membership base instead of always doing, big trail events on big lakes. And some people don't even like fishing lakes. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like competition, right? They just want to, shoot, I'm out fishing. I can take this measuring board. Then we can support one of the companies that supported us better than anybody else out there, which is Catch. Those guys have taken care of not just us, but the community. They've donated to clubs all over the country. Those guys are awesome. So I'm going to recap where we're at right now with KBF member benefits. And these member benefits are for ambassador and premium members. I'm actually going to turn off the free membership, because every free membership costs me about $3 in postage and decals. And when I get 5,000 or 4,000 of those, that's a lot of money that I could have put into growing the brand. I'm going to put the stickers up for sale on the website, and people will be able to buy the stickers that they want them. You'll be able to invest in the sport and invest in the future. And again, I've got to be smarter about running this business, and I'm not running a not-for-profit. I'm running a business, right? So let me just recap where we're at. Fish USA is back on board for the $25 gift certificate for every member for 24. Yak Attack is doing a $10 membership. Fetch is doing a $10 gift certificate. Or Catch. What did I say? Fetch? Good gosh. Catch is doing a $10 discount, like membership, like actual gift card. It's not like if you spend this much, you get this, right? Rogue, $10 gift certificate. Reaction Tackle, $10 gift certificate. Yak Rods, $20 gift certificate. American Legacy, newest partner. JT's got it on his hat. Talk to those guys. KBF started with American Legacy in the original Challenge Series. I actually knew the owner, passed away a few years ago, and worked with those guys. And they were the original sponsor of the Kayak Bass Fishing Challenge Series, the first one ever out of the gate. After Tom died and some stuff happened, we kind of, went in different directions. I then opened up my own shop, and it's kind of crazy how life works. But there's a gentleman over there that runs their relationships like this, and he came up with a very good idea. He said, well, look, I'd like to do the $25 membership discount gift card as well, but can I do it once a quarter? And I was like, wait a second. Did you say, that's funny, Jason. Did you say once a quarter? He's like, yeah. I said, so you're basically saying $100 in gift certificates. And he's like, yes. And in addition to that, because your community is so awesome, and I've got such a great response from JT's community, and communities cross over, if we get a new product like, I don't know, the Hangover from 6 Cents, or if we get like a new thing that everybody's buzzing about, we can do an exclusive offering for a pre-buy to all your members, better than anything we do publicly. And so these guys are investing in our community. They're investing in the sport. But here's what's crazy. I've got 4 of the other 6 sponsors who said, let me think about it. I might do the same thing. So in other words, they may do a quarterly gift card instead of just one a year. And if they do, then we pretty much just 4X'd the member benefit. But right now we're talking $25 gift card from Fish USA, $10 from Yak Attack, $10 from Catch, $10 from Rogue, $10 from Reaction Tackle, $20 from Yak Rods, and then $100 over the course of the year, 4 different $25 gift cards. I am going to email out the details for the Catch discount code for the Rogue, for the reaction tackle, for the yak rods, all independently, so that I get everybody. I'm then going to update the Fishing Chaos page so you can see it. For the American Legacy gift card, he has entrusted me and us as a community to use one code instead of having to have 1,000 codes and everybody gets their own unique code. And then, it's hard to keep track of and it gets convoluted. But you can't share the code. You can't post it on social media. Can't tell your buddy about it, because it's kind of like when you're in the military. Don't be a buddy effort. Like, don't screw it up for everybody else, because then we're going to have to go to individual codes for everybody. So the code will go out via email tomorrow. It'll be a Fishing Chaos email, because that's how we email through our membership base. And the title of it will be American Legacy KBF member discount. And it'll be $25. You've got until the end of Q1. You have to use all $25 in one shot. It's not a gift card that like counts down, like where you can go in 5 times. So basically whatever you use, it's a one and done type thing. So make sure I'll put that in the email as well. But the code, you'll copy it and paste it into your discount code, the discount coupon code box on the American Legacy website. And it'll take the price, just like the way, all the discount codes work on pretty much every website out there.
Yep.
So right there, for $25 for Ambassador or $50 at Premium, you're looking at $185 in gift cards over the course of the year. And I'm going to be like those infomercial guys. But wait, there's more. I got 6 companies right now in the pipeline that I'm talking to about offering a direct to members discount. Lots of companies are transitioning to a bigger focus on direct to consumer. Lots of companies are focusing on that transition to more of a relationship with an actual community like ours, influencer marketing, that kind of stuff. And so we're taking advantage of that. But in addition to all of that, every one of these companies in my negotiation for our deal next year has committed to me at a minimum 5 times, some of them like 10 times more giveaway product than I did in the past. So that way I can put that product on the 3 fish free fish deal. I can put some of it in the Catch22. I can just do random giveaways. I can just go pick a member through the randomizer of the actual membership list and pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, Billy, guess what? You just won a $50 gift card to American Legacy. I'm going to email it to you right now or text it to you right now. Happy shopping. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to really double down on the educational content for this year through a program that we call KBF Campus, where we create truly for our community content that's not just kayak fishing. It's all things bass fishing. 2 of the 3 words in our name is bass fishing.
Yep.
Kayak's one of them, right? And let's be real. The kayak is evolving into who freaking knows, right? Are we going to be kayaks in 5 years? The name's still going to be there. But what it is we're small boat, community-oriented anglers, and I'm trying to build a linear path for all the things that you can see where you stand. And while you're out fishing, I don't know, man, it just adds a little extra something to it when you put that fish on a measuring board and you had a systematic way to catch it, share it on your social media. And so one of the things that I'm going to challenge everybody to do in the Catch22 this year is once a week, post up all your fish that you caught for the Catch22 challenge and put the hashtag Catch22 challenge underneath it so we can grow the awareness and so that we can grow the participation. You know what I'm saying? And this year, I'm all in. I'm going to catch the 22 biggest fish I can catch in Alabama. I'm going to Florida to try to catch the 22 biggest fish that I can catch. I'm probably going to go over there and fish like shooting fish in a barrel with Gene, like those guys always do, and catch 22 fish over there. I'm going to twist Jason Starley's arm to get him to show me where he's catching all these donkeys. I'm going to go to Texas and get Derek to show me where he's catching all these donkeys. I'm going to go to Florida and fish with Dalton. So, sometimes it's good to be, the boss, right? So I'm going to take advantage of that, and we're going to get out there. I'm going to challenge my son to get in front of the camera more. You guys don't know Austin that well, but that dude is a freaking hammer.
Yes, he is.
He is yet to beat me head to head. But here's what happened the other day. We went to Duck River Reservoir, and I challenged him. I said, hey, let's do a head to head. He's like, nah, or he didn't commit, right? And I got to the water about an hour after him. And my goal was to let him get out there, and then I was going to come in behind him and like lay the smack down. But he never took the challenge. So I end up going out there, and since he didn't take the challenge, I'm scouting more than I'm fishing, looking for laydowns and stuff that I can mark for when the water's up, all that stuff, right? So I run into him about 3 hours into the day. I'm like, how are you doing? He's like, I got like 86 inches, and I had like 14 and a half. I'm like, damn, dude, you should have took the challenge. But he didn't. So we're going to do a lot more of that, like father-son 1v1 stuff on the channel. And look, I'm going to be real with you. My daughter is one of the funniest human beings. She's actually roaming around in here right now looking at pictures. She's one of the funniest human beings I've ever met. So I'm going to try to get her into some videos this year. And then my son, we actually joked our whole lives, both Casey and myself. Casey, do you mind jumping on this video real quick? Come on. Literally for years, we joked about the fact that my son, actually, I'm going to let her tell you. Come on in here, little girl. Or not so little girl anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Jump on in here. See, can we share a chair? Get in there. So what do we say about Austin for like most of his life?
That he wasn't funny.
But what's happened in like the last 2 years?
He grew a sense of humor.
He like grew a sense of humor. So out of nowhere, the dude went from like,
or I guess we rubbed off on him.
Maybe we'll call it that. Like just not really having that great of a sense of humor. He was angry all the time, like most young boys are, punching trees and headbutting shit. And then just out of nowhere, just grew a sense of humor. So I can't wait to show you guys that stuff. And I'm also going to announce something else because a lot of people have been wearing me out for a few years. You know, I had this other person in my life that was like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You got to be more serious. And I was never serious before that said person came into my life. I was always joking around. I was always having fun. Then I turned into like a angry, introverted, pissed off asshole, was too serious all the time. But one of my buddies is getting paroled this spring, been in jail for about 6 years. Some of you guys might know him. His name's Mo Bass, but he's getting paroled in March. So he'll be making a comeback. And then he met this dude in prison named T-Roll, right? And so he's been telling me about T-Roll. And T-Roll is a funny dude, got some unique perspectives on stuff in life. And we're going to bring him to the table. And then I met these other two knuckleheads that are basically like if you took the Hodge twins and then you made one of them a liberal and one of them a conservative, you got the ultra right and the ultra left. They're called the Caston Cousins because their last name's Cousins and they're cousins. Dude, wait till you meet these two clowns. They're going to be guests on the podcast. Old T-Roll and I are going to go fishing a little bit together. Mo Bass is coming back into the equation. We're going to have some fun this year. We're going to catch some big fish. We're going to raise both money and awareness for veteran suicide prevention, mental health. I'm so proud of the fact that so many people have reached out to me about being willing to say stuff about the mental health. And there was a time like I was even reaching out to you, dude, should I say this? And you're like, say it. And then there's a tipping point to where you just got to inspire people to be happy instead of focusing on being sad. But then everybody is picking up the mantle. Like one person in particular, I got to give credit where credit's due. Alex Rudd has really taken up the helm for talking about mental health awareness and things like that. And I think that we're transitioning away from being dudes and men who are scared to talk about what we're thinking, how we're feeling, and being vulnerable. And so this is the perfect time to inject some humor back into where we're going, to not focus on being so elite or so serious and all this stuff that creates controversy and division, and really focus on bringing stuff back together. If you guys haven't done so yet, just search Mo, M-O with a little apostrophe, Bass. If you don't put the Bass and you put the word kayak fishing in there, you're going to get more Mo Bass, which is going to be a whole different demographic than what you're looking for. But there's a few Mo Bass videos out there. Again, you're good now. Thank you though. Appreciate it. Huh? We do kind of. Did you see my shirt?
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway, I got a Shrek shirt on. Some girl was like, Shrek doesn't have a beard. I'm like, he does now. Anyway, so to reiterate for folks that may have tuned in a little bit late, go to my last YouTube video, the 2 bass, 1 bed video. Watch the video. It's freaking cool. I catch 2 bass over 9 pounds, over 8 pounds. One of them's over 9 off the same bed. And I talk you through the whole process. Live vicariously through that video because I did. That's why I decided to repost it. And, you know, I'm also trying to get my mind right for getting back to being the guy that chases monster bass like I used to be. And so I'm watching some of my own old videos, catching monsters to get myself fired up. And, but I'm going to give away one of these 6 cents hangover baits. Comment on the video, 6 cents hangover. And then I'm going to also give away one of these KGB Chad. You don't got to put the model or any of that, right? But this is the, I got the leader for the line through. The KGB Chad. This thing right here is bad to the bone. This is the bait that Austin was would have whooped me on Duck River the other day with. He was catching fish on this thing in 20 plus foot of water on live scope, watching them eat it. It was crazy. So gonna give one of those away. That is the KGB Chad. You can put the 180 if you want to, but if you just put KGB Chad and put Spro in front of it, I'm gonna pick a winner tomorrow for one of each of those. And if I pick you as a winner and you're a KBF member, then I'm going to double it. All right.
Sweet. So
back to
you did mention somewhere in there that there was a discount code for Catch as part of the package.
Yes.
Okay. So folks, if you have not seen, I'm going to the big screen. If you have not seen these beautiful new, I'm just saying, if you still need a catch board, go get the FishOPS because, baby, it's sexy.
You know, I didn't know if I was going to do this or not. I kind of threw it over to the side, but I'm going to, because one of the things that I realized through this relationship development with the Catch22 challenge is there's a lot of companies that like to get behind this. And there's a big hole in our community right now for a product that 100% suits our needs, especially as big dudes. And over the course of my career, I've had a significant impact on kayak design, PFD design, accessory design, and things like that. And a lot of people don't know that. And I'm not breaking my arm, patting myself on the back now, because I didn't break my arm, patting myself on the back when I came up with some of the, again, I'm just going to say it, some of the biggest innovations in kayak fishing. I was behind them, but I didn't care about credit because I just wanted them to be available. Well, I've been banging my head against the wall pretty much since I got into kayak fishing, almost 3 decades, so 27 years as of last November, to get somebody to make a PFD that fits everybody.
Yep.
The way KBF happened was I was sitting in a room and I was complaining about the fact that all the saltwater forums back then, all the kayak fishing forums back then were saltwater. And then there would be a kayak bass fishing page or a freshwater fishing page at the bottom that was everybody freshwater fishing in one little, redheaded stepchild board at the bottom of the forum. A lot of you guys don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. A lot of you older guys that's got the gray in the beard like me and JT, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Pre-social media, forums was like how people of like-minded, interests connected. And so the old KBF forum had literally 51,000 people. Texas kayak fishermen had like almost 100,000. It was insane. But back then I was frustrated with the fact that there wasn't a really good freshwater board. And I was at a buddy's house. I said, man, somebody needs to make a kayak bass fishing page. And he's like, dude, you should do it. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. I don't want to do that crap, yada, yada, yada. And I had been buying stuff from American Legacy. So I decided to build out this challenge series concept. A little quick history lesson. People are like, why the challenge series and how did it develop? Well, I lived in Virginia at the time. And in Virginia, you couldn't have tournaments on Virginia Department of Game and Inland Fishery Lakes. And I said, what about challenges? They're like, what do you mean? I said, can I challenge people to go out and catch the best 5 fish, but they can fish anywhere? Yeah, as long as you don't list the lake and you don't do this. So the way the challenge series came about is it was a way to get around permits, and it was a way to do tournaments on lakes that didn't allow tournaments, and it was better for the fishery. So I had this same thing happen over the course of the last year. When I had what I had with NRS, I decided to go get another PFD, not because I was thumbing my nose at NRS. The Chinook is still one of, if not the best PFD out there, but mostly because we didn't really align from a value and an ideal standpoint. So I decided I wanted to find something not necessarily better, but different. And when I got that PFD, I didn't even attempt to try to get sponsored. I actually had people throwing sponsorships at me. When I did the video, I got fired, but I was like, nope, I'm not interested. So I got a PFD from a company. I gave them some feedback. Hey, would you be interested in building a PFD that's more for big dudes, that's a more universal, fits us better, doesn't do this, does do that, right? No, not really. You know, we want our recreational template to be able to do double duty, and we'll put some pockets on it and put a lure holder, and we'll call it a fishing PFD. So I'm just going to throw this out there. So I'm working on now a PFD design, and this is the template. Okay. So this is basically a plate carrier. Any of you guys served any time in the military, any time in combat, even some of you pogues that got involved in, you know, elevated threat levels, you've probably had to put one of these things on, right? Maybe some of you guys that are in, you know, law enforcement, that are homeland heroes, that have dealt with, you know, uprisings and riots and things, you're familiar with this. So this concept is a template to where the PFD has got a blank front with some molly, a blank back with some molly, interchangeable flotation where the plates would go, interchangeable flotation. You can put chest packs on the front. We can throw our morale patches on there if we want to represent who we are, what we're about, what we've done. You know, I actually put the Velcro on the front of my PFD, which is what got the most attention, and it got people fired up, which made me realize, damn, I should do the PFD. So I am officially announcing that I am working on a new PFD design. I'm in talks with a couple of companies to either help me do it, and if they decide not to help me, I'm doing it on my damn own. It's going to be called the OG PFD because let's be real, I'm one of the OGs of kayak fishing. It's also it's going to use G hooks so that instead of having to have these hard connections, you can have an eyelet right here, and this thing, the shoulder connection hooks with a G hook. The side panels are going to be where they hook with a G hook instead of a big, nasty, uncomfortable buckle like with this plate carrier. This is the closest template I've been able to find. I've gone through 6 or 8 iterations of this, but we're going to use G hooks as the way that everything connects to the molly panel. So the OG also stands for the optional G hook connection. So, and then it's going to come in olive green initially. And then we're going to go to coyote tan. You can get it in any color you want to, as long as it's olive green or coyote tan, right? That's how it's going to work. But if you want to customize it because you want to put some fuchsia or whatever this color, chartreuse or pink or, you know, whatever your color is, then you can add Velcro patch panels and things like that to customize it. But the base PFD is going to be green initially. And then when we get enough volume to go into 2 colors, then we'll go to the coyote tan, desert tan. And yeah, dude, I am tired of apologizing for driving the freaking innovation in this sport. We don't have a good PFD for fat people. If you're bigger than you or me, you cannot wear a PFD in this sport. So listen up. If you're involved in any PFD company out there, make bigger PFDs. I'm not the fat girl on social media saying, I need to have a bigger plane ticket because this and this and that. Okay, you can't redesign a fucking airplane, right? But you can make a bigger PFD to get people out there that need it. So I'm going to do it. Simple.
And there was literally a comment that just said that there's not PFDs built for women. That
exactly. That's the other thing. It's on the back of this. There was one. MTI had a PFD called the PF Diva, and it was built for women, but it was only built for flat-chested women, which is basically a boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have,
you need something for real life people.
We're going to have a boob panel in here where basically there's an insert that kind of sets up for the beautiful thing about this concept is it can be configured and reconfigured for everybody. And we're going to start doing recognition. If you're the state champion in the Catch22, I'm going to send you a state champion badge. You're wearing that on your PFD. Every photo that you hold up, you get to represent that. If you catch a 20-inch fish, a 22-inch fish, a 20-foot, we're going to recognize accomplishments, and you'll be able to wear it as a badge of honor. We're going to do the premium PVC stuff. We're going to do a chest pack, radio pockets. Why should I have to buy one offshore PFD for offshore fishing and a different PFD for inshore fishing and a different dude? I also don't know if I can pull this off, but my number one goal is to make this thing where you can make it inflatable and you can make it regular flotation and eventually do a hybrid where there's a foam panel down the middle, 2 inflatable bladders, front and back. And look, I'm going to a full back again. And the first thing that happens when a lot of people see the design is they're like, but you're going to do a high back, right? And I'm like, no. Well, dude, you got to have the high back. High backs used to be 10 inches, 8 inches. That was a high back. when high back seats first came out. So when you look at the length of your back, it's anywhere from 18 to 21 inches from somebody 5'8" to 6'5", right? It's not like it's huge. So when your seat back is 20 inches and you're wearing a 10-inch back panel, it's pushed up over your shoulder. It's no longer where it lines up perfectly with the back of the seat. So I'm going back to a full back panel. The upper part will be thicker so that it actually floats you right side up and all those other things. But the reason that I'm saying it out loud is I need your help. We're going to design this thing together as a community. I'm going to put some sketches up this week to get your feedback in the kayak bass fishing group, in the kayak bass fishing community. It's currently affectionately known as the OG PFD, but I want to create a brand around it. It's probably going to fall under the FishOPS brand because I think there's some holes in the space where we can build some FishOPS products. And then a percentage of every purchase of FishOPS products goes to Heroes on the Water or the specific charity that we choose. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. We get thanked for our service a lot as veterans. Okay? We do. And I appreciate it. And I know that everybody that gets it appreciates it. Sometimes it makes us uncomfortable because we don't feel like we deserve it. But the Homeland Hero category is so neglected, so overlooked, so underserviced that is something that I really want to double down on. There are firemen, there are policemen, there are nurses, there are doctors, there are people that have served the public here on American soil that never swore an oath, that have done more and have experienced more traumatic shit than probably half the people in the military.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm just going to come out and say it. And I'm not going to be popular for saying that because there's this.
Dude, I'm a perfect example of that. I served in between all of the things. My father was in Vietnam. My son was in Afghanistan. I'm one of those guys that supports everybody across the board. I served when I served. It was what it was. But like, yeah, it's everybody's experience is different. But like you said,
look,
we literally ran every CNA, nurse, doctor, and medical ambulance, everybody through the ringer these last 3 years before things settled back down. My daughter was out in the front line of all of that, doing her part while her 3 brothers were serving. And they all served in their own way, but they all suffer from each of their services differently as well. So you're 100% right. We have to expand this love and support for every Homeland Hero, no matter what uniform or, that they wore.
And look, man, I'm going to say one other thing. When we were over there doing whatever we were doing, right? You couldn't leave. Okay. Yep. When you're in the military, you can't leave. There's a few retards, fucktards, if you want to call them what they really are, that bail, that desert, that do those things. But by and large, that's like a 0.005%, right? Yep. But we couldn't quit. Yep. Look at the people that served through COVID and all the BS associated with that, where 30 to 50% of them did quit. And the ones that stayed, not only did they stay, not only did they put their life in danger, not only did they do all that stuff, but they picked up double the workload because half of them quit, right? A third of them quit, whatever. Yep. So to me, dude, it's a whole different category. It's a whole different type of service. It's a whole different type of commitment to America. And those guys are freaking heroes. They absolutely are heroes. And so I want to recognize that. So 100%. I think that the FishOPS thing is going to turn into a brand. The PFD might be the first product. I am going to partner with companies to do FishOPS editions of things. Hey, let's do a special color. Let's do a special version. I've got one that I'm so jacked up about talking about that kind of goes along the line. There's so much
stuff that we haven't even started talking about. That's
coming. That you held up that I'm so jacked up to talk about it, but I can't yet. Probably next week, maybe 2 weeks from now. The first FishOPS co-branded collaboration with a major company. And then we're going to keep doing that. We're going to take the success of each one and double down on it. I'm going to sound crazy when I say this. And I sounded crazy when I said I was going to pay out $100,000 at a kayak fishing tournament. And I did it 6 years ago. Think about that. It's crazy. The moat, the mother of all tournaments, the $100,000 tournament where there's a 100 ways to win $1,000 and 5 ways to win over 20,000 is going to be a monster. Not talking about that tonight, but stay tuned. But what we're going to do along the way is I firmly believe that the Catch22 can become a $250,000 event. $250,000 meaning we're giving 50, 75, or $100,000 to veterans charities. We're putting $100,000+ back in prizes. And then we as a company are netting $25,000 to $35,000 to cover our operational costs and to taxes and all that kind of stuff, because we're not a not-for-profit. And then when we get our B Corp status, we can really take it to the next level, because then we're not a not-for-profit with our hands tied behind our backs in a lot of categories, but we get all of the benefits of being one. And that's the goal. And so what we're working on is transitioning to where we can offer products and services, partnerships with products and services that you're already going to buy the FishOPS edition for $5, $10, $15 more. That money goes to charity, and it's built into the price of the product, and you get an exclusive edition or version of it with something extra, right? And man, that is like when I was struggling the first third of the year, then starting to kind of get my feet under me middle of the year, and then starting to have everything come into focus August, September timeframe. The one thing that was a non-negotiable was carrying on with the charity stuff. I should have been doing it all along. I chased the wrong rainbows, chased the wrong waterfalls, chased the wrong priorities. But we've got to invest back in the company. We've got to invest back in the country. And then the next one, which we're going to use FishOPS for as well, but the next wave is we've got to focus on the youth. If we don't focus on the youth and we don't invest in them, we are creating a divide right now to where kids just ain't going to fish. They ain't going to hunt. They're not going to give a shit about the outdoors. And once they don't care about it anymore, they're not going to care about people who want to overdevelop it and exploit it and get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to invest in that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm excited about having the opportunity to do that through the KBF campus. And then last but not least, man, I'm going to say this because these guys, I'm not going to say they hounded me, but I hounded them. Bass University started a kayak series. And I'm like, listen, I love the fact that you guys are doing this. I love the fact that you are committing to using your massive platform, the best brains in the game. If you've never been to a Bass University live event, go. I've been. There's things that I learned at that has paid me dividends 50x throughout my career. When you do the whole thing with the Bass University online courses, you go through all the mud that you have to go through to watch us on YouTube, to see us on YouTube, to do all that other stuff. And you get that concentrated lesson forced down your throat, right? And you basically, I can learn from that stuff and take it out and apply it and come back but you get it over and over again. And so their standard plan is $149. They gave KBF $50 off. The next 25, I think they got 25 or 26 left that sign up, get a $50 Yak Attack gift certificate. It'll change to something else after that. But right now they've got 25 or 30 Yak Attack $50 gift certificates left. And if you sign up for $99 at the Classic or at iCast or at one of their other things that they do, then when it renews at the regular price. Just like all of these streaming services, you start a trial, but then when it renews, it's at the regular price. If you renew as a KBF member, if you sign up as a KBF member for the month of January, when it renews, it'll renew indefinitely for $99 at the same deal. And they're probably not going to let me keep that deal going after January. But I need you guys to double down and invest in those major organizations and major companies that are supporting us and investing in us and helping us grow the sport, like what American Legacy just stepped up and did, like what, the folks at Bass University are doing. So, Pete was traveling. I was going to try to get him on the show tonight. Justin, Mike, all those guys over there are amazing. And the Bass University concept is amazing. And what we're going to do is we're going to create the KBF campus, because you don't go straight to university. You go to middle school, then high school, then college. You go to elementary, middle school. So we're going to do elementary. We're going to do middle school. We're going to do high school. We're going to do some, kind of advanced stuff. But the idea is that we create a core of instructors and teachers for the KBF campus that then Bass University can pluck from the ranks to move up into the Bass University series, because kayak fishing pros, tournament anglers are great, but we also need some teachers, some folks that don't necessarily fish just tournaments, to get out there and be teachers. And so the KBF campus is going to be a platform for you guys to come out and do that. So stay tuned for details for that. To answer the question, is there a link for the KBF Bass University? There is. I emailed it out to everybody as members. So if you just go search your email, search Fishing Chaos, Kayak Bass Fishing, you'll find it. Or you can probably search Bass University Kayak. I will email it again tomorrow. So if you can't,
I don't know if this life member got that email.
I will email it out again tomorrow. I'll copy it, paste it, and then I'm going to send 2 emails tomorrow. I'm going to send your American Legacy Fishing Q1 $25 gift card, and then I'll send the email back out again and I might get it done tonight. But Casey, come over here, so we're going to do a little campfire action, a little daddy-daughter movie night kind of thing. So I'm not promising it, but it might get out there later tonight. But worst case scenario, it'll be going out tomorrow. So
okay, I got a few starred questions that came in, and then we're going to give away this KBF Life membership. So the first one that I saw came in from one of our ladies that posted earlier, and she's wanting to know if you know roughly how many lady members there are in KBF.
So I don't know off the top of my head, because I don't even have that as a category. But when we did have a category, because I see us all as, anglers. One color, and I see us all as anglers, right? I don't have women's categories. But the last time that I was able to do it, it was 237.
Okay.
So not a massive number, but pretty damn good number, considering that, like, if I asked you to name 237 female kayak anglers, you couldn't do it. So there's a bunch of them out there that are members that are just loving the sport, doing it. And, just
in our most recent Sportsman of the Year, Christine Fisher leading the way. So
one of our winners.
Somebody asked, where do you send the KBF NC qualifiers? I don't know if I get that question. If you want to post that independently in the group.
Jesse, you can just email me at kayakbassfishing@gmail.com. Most importantly, let them know that they're qualified so they can register. What she's asking, JT, is where does she send her list?
Directors.
Yeah.
I understand now. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it makes sense. Cool. Josh wanted to know, if you upgrade from ambassador to premium, do you still get entered into the bona fide PWR drawing and get all the gift certificates?
Josh, you still get all the gift certificates. Unfortunately, this drawing that I'm doing, and I said I'm going to piss some people off, but that is specifically to create new members. That is specifically to convert people who've been a free member and kind of freeloading for the last 3 or 4 years. I got to do something to shock the system. I got to do something to fire us up as a community so that I've got a bigger number to go to sponsors with and things like that. And so, unfortunately, the bona fide power drawing for Q1 is actually only for first-time new members, people that have never been an ambassador or premium member before. Free members will be eligible for it because they're upgrading to finally being a free paying member.
Yep.
And getting these other benefits, but unfortunately, no. But that being said, I have a kayak quarterly every quarter already for all KBF members through the Catch22, the Catch5, the River Series Championship. There's like 7 or 8 kayaks already committed. So it's not like I'm not already doing a lot for the members. And when you guys see what we're bringing to the table over the next 3 weeks to a month, bruh. So unfortunately for that one, no, but it's
this dude has been working. When he said he was taking off between now and March, he's not taking off. It's just a break from the tournament so he can do so much more. The next one is from Liz, and she's asking the question for Team Gramps when I was showing the catch board. So that's a reminder to you to reach out to Mr. Catch himself, Duke, and stuff and things. So she wasn't going to go buy one. She's waiting for.
Oh yeah, there's a knucklehead team second place version of that for all of you guys.
Yep. Somebody was asking if they could pre-order the PFD, and that makes me think maybe that's something that you might even look at starting a Kickstarter for, just as a thought. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Look, I don't really believe in like charity, you know, and it kind of was difficult when people were offering to help me throughout the year. Some, Ryan came in here and worked on the headquarters. A gentleman donated cameras for the security when I got broken into twice. Other people donated, but that's actually not a bad idea. Let me look. I don't want to do Kickstarter or GoFundMe or one of those because they take a big number, but there may be a way that I can do it to where I figure out how to track it. And then I've also got to figure out timelines because there is a Coast Guard approval process. There is some of that. And so I don't want to necessarily do it too preemptively to where I end up dragging it out. So Gary, I appreciate the suggestion. What I will probably do is do something like that when I get a little closer to launch time, or when I actually need some money to build the first inventory or something like that.
Brian is saying the same thing that I've been harping on you about all winter long. I want to see more KBF and FishOPS merch, hats, shirts, stickers of various sizes. This is just a reminder that, like me, like everybody in here, we love stickers and we love merch and other things too. So this was just a reminder to not forget.
JT, you and I've talked about this, but I've got 5 notes in my phone called T-shirt ideas that are bad to the bone T-shirt designs. Here's the list right here. I'm going to scroll through it fast so people can't see it, but there's a whole list of shirt ideas for both KBF, Knucklehead, FishOPS, and just funny stuff. In fact, we're dragging on, but I'm going to drag on as long as people are engaged. No, you do not have to let your membership. Actually, I'm going to say this because I've been getting a lot of questions about this. If you don't do anything, your membership automatically renews. If you signed up, your membership automatically renews. Okay.
Yeah.
If it doesn't renew, it's only because like your credit card wasn't valid or something like that. And then you'll get an email notification saying that your membership renewal failed. And then you can just update your information and renew. If you want to cancel your membership, because I'm getting questions about that. And I'm not trying to get people to be a part that don't want to be a part. But if you want to cancel your membership, I'm going to talk through this because people always ask about it. Okay. They literally always ask about it. And I have to walk them through it. So I might as well do it like right here live. Okay. So what you do is you go to the top 3 dots on the corner of Fishing Chaos. Actually, let me go back. So you go to the thing and you'll see your name. So then click on your name. I can never do this backwards. So you click on your name. After your name, well, it was already open. After your name opens up, you go down here and you find payments and subscriptions. Okay. And you'll see the payments and subscriptions that you have. You just click on it. And then you click manage right there. You click manage and you just cancel the Fishing Chaos membership or the fishing or the KBF membership. That's the easiest way to do it. That's actually the only way to do it.
You need to add this to your phone. This one from Jesse.
I got it. I like it.
100%.
I got Show Up and Bow Up. She thinks my tackle's sexy. He thinks my tackle's sexy. I got, I got Real Problems, which is a backlash reel, a lot of that kind of stuff. And it's been a money
on
thing.
The stream or somebody will steal them all because
it's been a money thing. Now that I've gotten, over the hump, one of the things that I also did, I'm gonna keep talking while I grab it, is
everybody drink.
I got a fire lit under my butt to get back active with my art. Okay. So when I got back active with my art, I just grabbed a drawing pad from like Walmart and started throwing some
nice.
Like that. That's a cartoon bass that I drew. My daughter wanted a picture of a bird. So this is a bird that I drew. Like this is literally just with a pen. Then I drew, I started working on a great blue heron picture that I'm going to actually create prints of. And I'm going to start creating these prints and I'm going to sell the prints to raise money for Heroes on the Water. And for FishOPS, the Chad Hoover art will actually be under FishOPS. And then the way it works is everybody that buys a print will be entered in a chance to win the original. And I'm only going to do the original as a giveaway. You're not going to be able to buy it. I'm not going to price it up. And then the way that we're going to do it is if you win it, you basically give me the print back and I give you the original, then I'll have the print and you have the original. But then I started working on stuff like this, which is a largemouth bass that I'm drawing. And this is one of the ones that I'm going to spend a little bit more time on. I probably have 4.5 hours in this one, and I'll probably have another 6 before I truly finish it. I messed around with the digital stuff. There's still a lot of shading and details and stuff left to come. You know, like that gill plate right there took an hour and a half with all these little tiny marks and stuff. And this part right here will take a long time. I'll have to build this scale pattern, build the scale pattern here, do all of the detail in between the fins, you know, all that stuff, right? And so this is free-handed, no template, no nothing. Just I drew some dividing lines with a pencil, you know, that the middle of the fish is right here. A third is the back of it, like just some stuff for proportions. But everything else is free-handed with ink pens. And I enjoy that. It keeps me from wanting to punch people in the face. And I really should have been doing more of this. But I'm also going to take this and, like I said, create prints. And there may very well be stickers. There may very well be some T-shirts and stuff like that. And, yeah. And then we talked about another idea that I'm not going to reveal yet. Right. That is going to be massive. And my art will kind of play.
It turns out my brother is the freaking Bob Ross of the family. He just needed something to do last winter and just grabbed some paintbrushes and then about knocked me on the damn floor with some of the stuff he came up with. So I'd like to see you both get into some of that over the winter time too. So that's all the start questions that I had.
Cool. Well, listen, thank you all for staying in this thing for an hour and a half. I appreciate you
why
guys.
they're still here.
Oh, we got to give away one more lifetime membership.
Yes, we do.
Let me go back here. So the lifetime member winner for the last prize of the Catch22 for 23, other than the state winners, is this knucklehead right here, Mr. Ronald Bonar. It might be Boner, but I think it's Bonar, right? So I'm just going to leave it up to, but Ronald, all of you guys, if you won something, email me, kikebassfishing@gmail.com. Text me at 757-348-2232. Do not Facebook message me and say on Facebook, I sent the dude a message and I haven't heard anything. If you send me a message on Facebook Messenger, you might as well go out in your backyard, write it on a note, and light it on fire. I just get too many messages there. Don't DM me. Don't PM me. Don't say I tagged you in a Facebook post, because so did 1,200 other people. I'm giving you my freaking phone number. Don't leave me a voicemail. My voicemail says, don't leave me a voicemail. Shoot me a text or email me for quicker response. And then people are like, hey, man, just want to leave you a message. Give me a call whenever you got a minute. I ain't going to have a minute. That's why I said, don't give me a freaking voicemail. If I check voicemails, all I would do is check voicemails. Because by the time I finish listening to 33-minute voicemails, that's 90 minutes. Who the hell's got 90 minutes? And then by the time I got done, there'd be voicemails that filled back up while I was checking the voicemails. So I would just become kayakvoicemail.com if I did that. So shoot me a text. That's the fastest way. Shoot me an email if you don't want me to have your number.
If you never want to hear from Chad, email him. Or no, not email. Text him. No, not text. Send him a Facebook message. You'll never hear from him.
If you text me or email me, you're going to get me. I'm going to get back to you real fast. Text faster, email a little bit slower. But if you send me a Facebook message, like I said, you literally might as well write it on a piece of paper, go out in your backyard and light it on fire. It's dust in the wind.
James, what happened was I kicked his ass, and we're going to work together next year to do even better.
What happened, James, to be honest with you, is I got overwhelmed. I got overwhelmed, and and it fell by the wayside. And it's been a year. I mean, honestly, it has.
It really has. With us launching the new kayak bass fishing series, Knucklehead, and then having the Hero Cup on top of that, along with the KBF series. I mean, honestly,
just surviving,
just surviving. Yes,
it's a crazy year. And so next year, next year is Thrive. This year was Survive. Next year is Thrive. 25 is going to be the 5x5 and 25 where we blow the roof off of it. And 26 is Dynamite Sticks.
We'll be sick.
Blowing the roof off of it in 26. And
because and stay tuned. You know, we'll try to go live the 22nd of each month to do the monthly Catch22 updates and where we're at. He may not always be here. You know, if not, then I'll go live and talk about as much as I can to keep updated with all the things that are going on. But
literally
already never sleeps.
I have literally gone through my schedule and I've blocked out all the 22nds. I'm not available to guide on 22nds. I'm not doing conference calls on 22nds. And I created a recurring event in my calendar that's called the 22nd live stream. So yeah.
Yep. And he's got me whipping his ass every day just to make sure, because we talk pretty much.
I have an accountability buddy and somebody that I can bounce ideas off of. There's a core of guys like that. Like, one last shout out that I want to give is Hank Vegian put together a badass write-up about human powered. You guys have got to go read that. We're going to post it again. I'm going to post that thing 5 times this year. You have got to go read it.
I posted that on my personal Facebook page today and got so many comments on it. That was so well done. He is an incredible writer. That is 100%
real. I'm going to see if I can call Ronald real quick. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Let's just see if he's actually going to look in. Let's see if he's live. Let's see if he's actually
wireless. The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected.
This is why sometimes I can't get in touch with you, knuckleheads.
You have reached this recording.
Update. All right, go into your profile right now and update your address, update your phone number, and update your email. Do it now.
And update your membership.
Yeah, I can't email you to tell you to update your email if your email is jacked up. So go into your profile, under your name, right there, under personal information, and then public profile, and update those two to share what you want to share. But get me the stuff that I can share so I can share it and I can tell everybody where it's at. And I get more contact, and when you can get better deals and you can hear about stuff that's going on when I'm not just doing it through live streams. The way that I'm contacting you guys with updates is through the Facebook group, through email, and through the messaging function in the app. So be sure.
And while Chad won't say it, I will for him. Guys, if you would consider going from free to ambassador to premium, let's keep KBF afloat. He's got some work to do, cleaning up some things, new website designs, other things that's coming through the rest of this year while we're on this little break. It's worth every dime. You're going to get back as much as you put in, but you're going to be supporting an organization that supports so many of us. It's just that big of a deal. I know you don't like doing all that, but I'm going to do it for you because I believe in it. Freedom Squad believes in it, and everybody in here does as well.
And here's the thing. If each one of you guys can reach one to let us teach one, we can double this community.
Yep.
My goal, you can't accomplish things if you don't set goals. And if you don't have big goals, then why are you trying? You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, if your dreams and your goals don't scare the absolute shit out of you, they ain't good enough goals. If you can accomplish everything that you set out to do easily, you're not setting hard enough goals. You're just not. If you don't fail, you ain't trying hard enough. It's just real simple, right? And so my goal this year is to hit 25,000 members at KBF. And when I get to the point where I can do 25,000 members, we can get so engaged with the community. We can invest back in the community again. We can do things because we have the resources to do it. And as much as I've kind of had the membership there as like a go by to get by, I really need it, but it's always awkward to talk about. Listen, I am proud of what we pulled together for the last 6 months. When I say we, I mean me and the partners and the guys like you, JT, and the people that believe in it, by bringing on companies that want to support what we're doing, that believe in what we're doing, so that we can continue doing what we're doing. And if each one of you guys can reach one person, each one of you can convince one person to become a KBF member, we can double. And if we double, we can get ridiculous next year or this year. Shit. I mean,
Yeah.
But this year's going to be fun. The focus is going to be getting back to enjoying this stuff. I did a video earlier this year called I Hated Kayak Fishing, and I really did. And I love it again. Like the first time you ever meet that girl that stole your heart, I'm right there. All right. So can you tell me what kayak brands and types will be given away for the Catch22 and 24? We're definitely doing Bonafide or Big Adventures, Bonafide Native. I've got a Shoaly from Crescent, and the rest I still don't have nailed down. But there will be 4 kayaks minimum, 1 per quarter, the last one being the grand prize. The first one being the end of March. So I'll pick everybody from the Catch22, and then I'll also be picking the winner from the I'll be picking everybody from the new entries, the new members. So I'll just go to the reports. I'll pull reports, new members. I'll set the date parameter from today, and then we'll roll from there. Are all of the discounts you mentioned earlier for renewing members as well? Yes. All the discounts are a benefit of being a member year after year after year. So they're all renewal benefits as well. Let's actually see where we're at on the Catch22 real quick before we go. And then
there was 119 when I just checked.
You got
that's
you guys are awesome. Yeah, man. Yep. Let's get this thing stupid. I'm doing a couple trade shows this year to wave the flag. Let me know if you're interested in the art thing. I actually am thinking about doing an ending to some of my videos where I draw out what the trip was about, and I put a time lapse above it and create a segment called Drawing Conclusions. And what I do is I narrate what I'm drawing and show a time lapse of it. And it's kind of like, for those of y'all that are old enough to remember the Waltons, it's going to be kind of like the Waltons when they were talking at the end, and it's Grandpa's voice, and the show's going off, and then they say, "Night, John Boy, night, Llewellyn," all that kind of stuff. Kind of like that. But let me know what you think about the art, because I also am really good at cartoons. And so I think I'm going to cartoonize some of the things that are happening in the sport. Speaking of cartoons, let me show you everybody this meme, because I think this thing is funny. And I want to see if everybody thinks I should post it. Okay. JT, you've already seen this. There's like 4 people that have seen it. But you guys do me a favor. You tell me, should I post this? Because that right there is funny. I don't care who you are. Let me turn this thing. That's my security camera system. Is that not dead on right there? That's cousin Randy right there, if you combine the two together. But y'all do me a favor and tell me if you think I should post that, and just have a little fun with it and get you guys to caption it for some type of giveaway. But you guys probably, or you should know who both of these guys are. But man, if you merge them into one person, that's cousin Randy, son. I like it.
The first comment was "shitter's full."
Anyway, y'all be good. Y'all have a great night. Love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.
We love y'all. Take care.
All right. Have a good night.